And welcome. Good evening, and thank you for joining us um, for this special edition of the Boys from the Baltic Star. Um, we are dealing with a couple of minor areas of chaos this evening, which hopefully will resolve themselves as the evening wears on. Um, and we're looking forward to seeing exactly how badly this is going to go. But we're going to soldier on and see if we can make it happen. So tonight, I'm Ben, and I'm going to be comparing this um, complete rip-off of everything Jacobean. And I'm joined, hopefully later this evening at some point, by Luke, who is struggling with non-stream related matters. But when he arrives, things will go very smoothly, as they always do when Luke's around. But even before Luke arrives, we do have a special guest on the stream for tonight's event. Sock Fiddler, how are you this evening?
Hello, love. I feel I must chide you actually for your fear of chaos, because I feel I'm just not tooting my own horn, I don't think, but I feel that you invite me on the stream to provide such chaos. So, I don't think we should fear the chaos. I think it should be something that should be embraced,
To
frankly.
introduce a little anarchy, as they say.
Well, I've heard it said. I've heard it said. Anyway, I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
That's good.
How are you? I hope everybody in chat's well as well. Hi, guys. Hi,
Yes, hello,
everyone.
chat. Thank you for joining us, and people catching up on VOD as well. I hope you
Oh
enjoy
yeah, I
this
always
one.
forget about them. Hi, Vodders. Can you call them Vodders? I feel like I'm talking to Carol Vorderman now. Hi, Vodders.
Really? Is that what that sounds like in your head?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, hello. Oh, the
The
Vod
VOD
Squad. Look
Squad.
who's
That's a good
here.
one. Yes, that's a good
That
one.
bloke. Vod Squad. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Luke.
So, we are the Boys from the Baltic Star, and we do narrative gaming. And at the weekends, which, as far as we're concerned, that's defined as basically Friday and Saturday nights, that means role playing games. And tonight is the evening of the 5th of November. And so, unsurprisingly, we're doing something of a riff on the 5th of November, which, for those who don't know, is a national celebration in mainly England, I think, though elsewhere in the UK to some extent, associated with an abortive attempt to kill the king in 1605 and the entire House of Lords with him on the date of the state opening of Parliament that year. Um, in order to celebrate this, you understand, we set off fireworks. Well, there's been some lovely fireworks around here this evening, and we light bonfires. And um,
We pretend to set fire to Catholics.
yes, please do, Luke. If you could join in, that would be handy. At least in time for Act Two would be good. That would be very handy. Because you've got a script in your inbox. I don't know if you saw it. It's attached to the meeting invite.
I hadn't seen it, Luke. I literally read it 10 minutes ago. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. No homework done whatsoever.
Don't
So good
don't
luck.
panic.
Have fun.
You've literally got a script in front of you. You can't mess this up. I promise you.
And there are costume requirements.
It'll be
I
fine.
wish there were. I wish that was true. And by the way, I'd like to point out that I think America does have a Guy Fawkes Night equivalent now. I think in years to come, it's going to be celebrated on the 6th of January. I'm just saying.
Really. Yeah.
Well, it was a similar kind of attempt, wasn't it? Just by not fun people.
Yeah, and not quite so many barrels of gunpowder.
No, less, yeah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know the backstory, broadly speaking, James, the King of England, now known as James the First, but at the time he was just known as James because we didn't know there'd be a James the Second back then. Was also James the Sixth of Scotland. It was at a time when the two thrones were not actually the same unitary throne. So he had become king 2 years earlier in 1603, and he was by origin a Catholic from a Catholic family, and he had signed on to be head of the Church of England, which, as the name sort of implies, would make him an instant converted Anglican. Now, people often think that that would have been a problem for one reason or another, and it wasn't a problem for the reason you might think, because Anglicanism hadn't been around very long, so there wasn't really much divergence between Catholicism and Anglicanism at that time. The actual practice of the religion was pretty much identical, a couple of very trivial differences. And
And
James
the
was
burning of the monasteries, small things.
sure, sure, but that wasn't again really about religion. That was about the power of Rome. And
Yes.
the concern, James was fairly confident that he'd be able to run a kingdom in which Catholics and Protestants got on brilliantly with each other, because he would be the kind of uniting force they needed. Someone who'd been raised a Catholic, was now head of a Protestant church, and everyone would love it. And provided he told everyone to stop burning each other, it would be fine. Of course, he was wrong about that, because he'd completely missed the point. A lot of Catholics in England weren't actually interested in whether or not it was an Anglican church or a Catholic church from a day-to-day perspective. What they cared about was whether or not the King of England was subservient to the throne in Rome. It was a political matter. And James didn't feel he should bend the knee to anybody, what with being a king and all that. And so a group of
Wasn't there
Catholic
a lot of
plotters...
talk of kissing the ring? He refused to kiss the ring.
He did indeed. And so essentially a group of Catholic plotters set about trying to murder him and the entire House of Lords, who they all saw as being a problem, and basically take out with one fell swoop the entire leadership level of English rule, so that theoretically a Catholic monarch and lots of papal envoys could turn up and take over and start running things. The plot was, in fact, uncovered, and the plotters caught, and they were treated with all the mercy that was prevalent at the time when it came to jurisprudence in early 17th century Jacobean England. I mean, they were... Well, we'll get to that. That's Act 5. So,
I'm going to say it was a teddy bear's picnic with extra jelly and ice cream. That's my guess for what happened to him. And I'm sticking to it until proven otherwise.
Plenty
I want
of
a
ice
happy
cream,
ending.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Plenty
enough of this
of
anarchy
ice cream.
nonsense.
So,
Sorry, Ewan. I'm sorry. Any kind of teddy bear there. I mean, I'm not telling you exactly which teddy bear turned out to be the favourite. I'm not going to give it all away. Jeez.
and welcome, Luke, to the stream.
Hello there.
It's
Hello,
so
Luke.
nice of you to join us. I hope everything's okay.
So nice to join you. Yeah, everything's okay now. We just have to sort out the situation. It's all right.
Excellent. Okay.
I'm just eating a wagon wheel. Sorry.
That's okay. It's quite all right. If yes, that's a good point, Crit. Actually, there are a lot of people who believe that Catholics worried about their future if it went ahead were involved in uncovering the plot. Certainly, the soldiers were the attackers were very well prepared, but not well advised. I think it's fair to say. Now, Luke, when you get a moment, if you could share something neutral as a screen, then hopefully it will just automatically line you up perfectly on the right-hand side of my screen, and I won't have to move anything. We could hope.
Hang on a sec. Let me. Hang on. Okay, I can sort that. Yes.
But the the critically important thing is done, because Luke is here. This is excellent news.
Hello, everyone.
So, I'm going to just give you a little bit of an introduction to what we're doing tonight. The actual game is going to be played under rules, a very simplified set of the rules. There are some slightly more complicated ones, but it's suitable for the era. Alexander Scott's Maelstrom rules. Now, I've had these rules on my bookshelf since they came out, which is in 1984.
1859. Oh, I wasn't far off.
1984. So, I'm going to take you guys very quickly through some basic character creation, and then we'll get on with the plot.
Okay.
I'm afraid Maelstrom does have 9 characteristics. The good news is once you've got those attributes done, there are no skills or anything beyond that. There are just the 9.
9? Please
9
tell me
is
that
a lot.
Moxie and Charm are among them.
You're
Right,
absolutely right.
that's
9 is a
friends.
lot. There's no question about it. 9, I think, is an unusually large number.
I'm sharing something neutral.
Oh, brilliant! Look at that. Well done, Luke. That's perfect.
Thanks.
That's sorted it out just perfectly.
I thank you. I thank you.
So, you see, I knew everything would just go
He's already in
instantly
character.
well.
Look at that.
As soon as Luke turns up, everything's flawless. Look at that. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Wow. I mean, you're welcome. Blimey. I did customise myself as the agent of chaos when I introduced myself, so
You did.
fine.
You did do
Whatever.
that. Yes.
But
Yes, we
that does
remember.
make Luke the agent of order, and I think probably he's going to take that a little bit personally. I think that's a bit woody, calling him the agent of order.
There we go. There we go. I think that's a bit better. Isn't it?
So your basic skills are attack
Yeah.
skill, defense skill, knowledge, will, endurance, and persuasion.
Oh, hang on.
No. Endurance. Persuasion.
Attack, defense.
Attack, defense, knowledge.
Yeah.
Will, endurance, persuasion.
Will.
Perception, speed, and agility.
What's after persuasion? Perception.
Perception, speed, and agility.
Speed.
I should have done the Bethesda thing and made them spell out a clever word so you wouldn't forget them.
Agility.
Yeah. I mean,
This is a lot of work.
it is, Crit. That's exactly what it's like. It's a very simple system, but they've front loaded everything into the attributes. So
That's not going to work.
essentially, the way you balance your character is all of those stats start with 30 points in them.
Ooh.
And then you get to add 50 more distributed any way you like. So 30 each.
Do we get a chatter about what kind of character we're playing, just in case we both decide to be ultra smooth and charming?
Absolutely. We should definitely do that.
Okay. Gosh. Well, I want mine as dumb as a rock, so no knowledge for me. And I'm guessing defense is a little bit more active than just running away.
Yeah, that's what you use in order to actually fight.
Then what's attack used for?
The same. It depends on whether you're launching an attack or they are.
Oh, okay. So one's responsive and one's reflexive. Okay.
With 50 more, okay. That can have that.
Okay.
That can have that. And that can have that. Sorted. Good stuff.
Brilliant.
Wowzers!
Okay.
What did you put yours in? Blimey, hang on.
Not telling you. We're going to create an unbalanced team.
He said we could.
I've put 20 more in persuasion, 20 more in perception, and 10 more in knowledge.
Would you believe I did 20 perception, 10 in knowledge, and 10 in agility? I'm going to change that up a bit.
No,
right,
don't feel you have to.
It's too late now.
Well, do you know what, actually?
I was trying to be charming you, and I'm trying, but there's no charm. Persuasion, that's what I should have put 50 in persuasion. That'd be so persuasive.
I'm going to do 10 in persuasion, because that's just how I play. So willpower is what? Just intuition and gut instinct, or is it like stubbornness and...
Well, willpower's used for a couple of things. It's used for magic when it's played with magic, but this is a game where we're not going to be using the magic rules, so that's what it's mostly used for. But
Okay.
there may come a situation where you've got to, overcome some problem which requires you to grit your teeth and fight through. You never know.
All right. Would you like to know what I've put my 50 points in then?
Sure, by all means.
No, you, Cree. You're the magic. Okay, I've put 10 in attack, 10 in defense, 10 in will, 10 in persuasion, and 10 in speed.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, do your characters have names? They are basically persons of some or little note, your own choice, who happen to be in this part of London on this day.
I came up with 2 character names, both of which made me laugh at least for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I'll let you guys pick. Do you want number 1 or number 2?
What do you think, Luke? 1 or 2?
Go for 1, I think.
1. Okay, yep.
Number 1 is Cecily Bucket.
Cecily Bucket. Okay.
Cecily Bucket.
Cecily Bucket. Let me write that down. Cecily Bucket.
Could have been Jemima Guzzler, by the way.
Cecily Bucket sounds brilliant. Now, as for dice, you only need percentile dice and d6s for this, and I don't think we're going to need many d6s.
Oh, I don't have any. Oh, that's the other. You haven't asked my name, Ben. Unbelievable.
I'm just about to. So, Luke, what character are you playing?
Buckley Cecil.
Buckley Cecil.
Yeah.
That's.
That really killed me.
Actually, it's Sir Cecil Buckley.
Sir Cecil Buckley.
Cecil Buckley. Yeah.
Oh God! Amazing, amazing.
So Cecil and Cecily. Excellent. Okay.
Buckley.
All
Is
right.
it Buckley or Buckley?
Buckley. Buckeley.
Buckley. Okay.
So Cecil Buckley.
Amazing.
So Cecil and Cecily, welcome. Allow me to introduce the story tonight. Tonight we have for your entertainment the very first performance of a previously unknown play by an anonymous Jacobite playwright, thought to have been William Shakespeare's much less talented cousin Tim. It is incomplete, so only a few fragments of some of the acts can be delivered as they were written. We will improvise the remaining elements of the story as we go along. It's believed the original title was to have been The Comedy of King James, or Remember, Remember, and it was included in upcoming works planned for the Rose Theatre in 1610. Our cast will, as is common in plays of the era, perform multiple parts as required on stage. So hopefully you have in front of you the script.
Oh, I do.
Excellent.
I do.
So which of you would like to play Catesby and which would like to play Fawkes in the first act?
You choose, Luke.
My dear Cecily, surely the choice should be yours.
Oh, I'll play Catesby then.
Okay. So, Act 1. A cellar by the River Thames. Catesby and Fawkes enter together.
Oh, well met, my friend. This day will long endure in arts and memories of those who value hope. It is upon this day that freedom turns her smile upon the long suppressed folk.
Yes, hail to thee, my true and faithful sir. I stand with thee upon this noble charge. Our allies have so soon this path prepared, and now it is for us to strike the blow.
You are the one who has the skill in truth. I've got all bloody Danny Dyer again. Anyway, is this the proper place to put our trust? It really is. Is it, as we first stated our intent, so stationed as will make the kingdom shake?
It is in truth most perfect in its way. Above us is the ancient House of Lords, and this high vaulted space where vintners stored their barrels of sweet wine to wake the cup will soon be refuge to different brew of powder ready for the spark, and in tight barrels of stout wood will turn its fire into a sudden rush of cleansing holy writs.
And the number of the barrels, friend, is it enough to carry forth a deed?
I used my craft to make the numbers right, and then allowed for something unforeseen that led me to the answer of 18. So as that was 3 wagons fully filled, I chose to add a 4th to make it sure. Then, just to celebrate our holy faith, I added 12 more barrels, each for one, of the apostles, as my prayer to Rome, where our Holy Father doth reside, and where England's heart will soon be found, as is the will of every man of faith. It is all this led me to the number of barrels, 36, tightly packed, full twice the number that must be required to see our England free from Protestants.
It is well done, good folks. Now let us leave. Our fellows will begin to fill the space, and on the morrow, when the king arrives to open up the chamber of the lords, you will return to light the sparking fuse and fire so great a beacon on the Thames as it will announce to every man for leagues that James, the faithless sovereign of the land, is judged and found unfit to wear the crown, and will forthwith be judged again by God.
Well done, guys. Act 2 is missing, so it will now be improvised by Cecil and Cecily.
Oh, God.
Our party is sitting outside the Green Boar Tavern on the green opposite the Palace of Westminster. From where you're sitting, with a cup in your hand, it's very late at night, and the evening is clear but cold. Everyone's hurrying about their business, and you have nothing really to do apart from talk about the day, talk about what's going on. It may even have crossed your mind that tomorrow is the state opening of Parliament. However, you do begin to notice there are some large barrels being rolled down a ramp into a vintner's cellar. But there's something about them that, to you experienced drinkers, make it look like they don't appear to be typical wine barrels. They're a little bit lighter, and they don't have that wobble as the liquid settles in them whenever they stop moving. They look like dry goods, and it strikes you as odd.
Yeah, looking at these barrels, my dear Cecily. This doesn't look like ale.
You mean those? Oh, sorry, love. I was just gonna whatever. How you doing? I sound like Ali now. All right, love. Sorry, Bruce. Go on, darling. I'm sorry.
Well, what I was saying was we both of us, my dear Cecily, we've drank enough ale over the years. And look at the barrel, look at the way the barrel, both you and I have been here when the dawn birds have sang, finishing off our last flagon, and we've seen many barrels of ale rolled in. And I tell you, dear Cecily, none have looked like this. Just look at them. Look at the weight of them, the way they roll them. It's just not right.
Well, he's standing behind his. If that were full of ale, he'd have to be in front of it, lest it roll down to the bottom on its own and smash upon the flagstones.
Oh, and no doubt, my dear friend, you would be there with your tongue to the ground, lapping it up like a dog.
As the good book said, my friend, waste not, fucking want not.
Oh, so true, so true. Let us clink our glasses together once more in agreement of such a fine saying.
Oh, if I wasn't every one of my 47 very long years old, I would say that there was a plot foot, my darling. Wait, no, I've gone West Country. What's that about? Maybe I should just embrace the Bristol and let that be done.
Just lean into Bristol. That's the way.
You know, my dear Cecily, the thing I like about Yao is that after half a dozen flagons, you do revert back to your West Country. That
My natural roots, isn't it, my darling?
You just accept it. I like that. Just accept it. Don't let these posh Londoners look down on Yao. It's not how it should be. You be true to Yao. That's what I always say. Yao be true to Yao.
She heaves a massive bosom in each hand, kind of shuffles herself back into arrangement. I think you're good right, my darling. I think you're proper right.
Look at that.
Meanwhile, okay.
Meanwhile.
Our timing is way off.
Yeah, just given the boy that the boy that lights the lights, you just given him an eyeful with a pair of those.
Oh, it's nothing. He's not. Wait, God, Jesus! It's not nothing he's ever seen before. When I'm selling my bucket of sprats up and down the Billingsgate docks, he's often getting an eyeful.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
He's a right cheeky one, that one.
And as you're having this conversation, one of the people who's been loading the barrels leaves the cellar, looks around a little bit furtively, and then hurries off directly towards you, as if he's going to walk straight past the front of the inn where you are.
Did you see that? He's scurrying.
I tell you what, Yao should have a word with him. Something not quite right is going on tonight, I tell you.
He's not even looking where he's going. I know what I'll do. And she kind of wrestles up her skirt and sticks her foot out in his path and then drops her skirt again with the intention of like just tripping him up, but really discreetly.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to ask that you make an agility check for that.
The one skill I didn't put any points in.
So
okay, how do I do that?
Can you roll a percentile roll, and you need to hit equal or less than your agility?
So 83 is not very good then.
83 would be a fail, yes. Yeah, 83 would have been a fail even if you'd put everything into agility.
Look, this is a silly system when a very high roll is a very poor roll. That's all I'm saying. I'm starting to share your hatred of the D10.
I know, this is the 1980s for you. It was a strange and disturbing time. So, you make this attempt, but in fact he spots what you're doing and skips to one side, coming to a hard halt, and stares you down. What are you up to?
I'm just waiting for the... Which part of the country am I from? I'm just waiting for the market to open again, my darling. I've got my bucket and it's empty and waiting for sprats.
No, I mean, why did you try to trip me?
I didn't. I did no such thing. I was just stretching my leg. Look at it. It's been cramped underneath me all the while I've been drinking with my friend here. I just needed to stretch out.
All right. The guy draws a thin sword from his belt and points it at you quite threateningly, and he says, "Get on your way if you know what's good for you."
You'll be wanting to think twice about wiggling that thing at me, mister. I've had bigger and nastier waved at me more recent than you can imagine, and none of them came off better than I did.
He's casting a glance also at Cecil as he does this, just to assess whether or not there's danger from there as well. But he's going to make the decision to try and run you off. He's going to slash at you with his sword. So, time to use the ducky dice in earnest.
Damn those things.
Okay, he makes an attack. Can you make a defensive move if you want to do one, or what would you like to do?
So it's like a rapier. He's coming at me with like essentially a rapier, which I could
That
probably
kind of
parry with
thing.
a good.
It's a
So
thin blade.
okay, so we're assuming that I'm drinking out of a flagon of some description, and I could probably use the weight of the flagon to parry the blow.
Absolutely. It might dent the flagon a
Okay,
bit, but
then
you can
that's.
certainly have a go. Yeah.
Oh, hello, Croy. Good evening.
Evening, Croy.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do, and very smoothly. She's not even gonna put on a performance. She has no intention of moving. She's not scared of him at all. She's just gonna try and whack it out the way with her flagon.
Okay. Can you roll a defense skill for me, please?
So I got to get under 40.
Under 40.
Under 40, how about 22?
Perfect. So his strike comes in towards you, and it's on target. But you, with great aplomb, just slap it to the side with the flagon. The ale sloshes everywhere, of course, and because the blade bites into the pewter, there is a sizable looking dent which is even slightly splitting the metal. But you've absolutely stopped his attack. Cecil?
Look at your flagon. He's ruined that. You've had that for 4 years, That's a long time for a flagon. How dare you, sir? And he'll swing a slightly drunken fist towards the man's head, if that's okay.
Yes, absolutely. Can you roll an attack skill, please?
So I've got to roll a percentage, and I need to hit below my attack skill. Is that correct?
Below or equal?
Oh, no. Nope, 67. That's too high.
You make your attack swing at him, but as he's in the process of literally withdrawing his sword back again to decide what to do next, you misjudge the fact that he's backing away in that second, and your fist flies past his face. He turns over his shoulder and he yells, "Will!" and comes at you this time with his blade.
Don't you swing that at me.
He's going to make an attack.
Okay.
And he misses cleanly. Do you want to counterattack immediately?
Yeah, why not? I'll swing a clumsy fist again.
Okay, go for it. That's an attack roll, just a standard, what the game calls an attack saving throw, if you know what I mean, but that always sounds weird to me.
Yeah. Is he a big man or is he an arseworm?
He's wiry, but not very tall.
Sorry, I found a website of 17th century slang, and I'm just going to go.
Oh God! Why didn't I think of that? 18th century.
A beard splitter. I've missed that.
It's the Daily Mirror. I feel dirty.
I've go to mental floss. 90. I've got hit, so I missed bad.
Okay, all right. So you swing, and again he manages to dodge out of the way. His friend is running across towards you. Cecily.
Oh, now look what you've done. You made me spill my ale. So just as she swung, I'm assuming she swung from like her centre outwards with the flagon to defend herself from the blow.
Yep.
So now she's just gonna swing the other way. So just in an equally fluid motion, she's now gonna swing towards his head with the same flagon that he just pierced with his sword.
Okay. All right. Make a standard attack roll, please. Percentile.
21. Is that good?
That is good. Right. He is unable to defend this one because he's already engaged, if you know what I mean. So please roll for damage. That's going to be a 1d6, please.
Hang on. 3.
A 3. Okay. You slap him across the sort of head and shoulder. It's a slightly glancing blow. The weapon you're wielding is not really intended for this, but it's enough to knock him back onto his heels a bit, and he's looking wildly at the pair of you. And then there is like boiling rage that starts to build up in him, and he comes in for another attack on Cecil.
Don't you make me grab my bucket, lad.
He does not, however, do well at all. He swings and he's overreaching. His rage has got the better of him, and he swings past Cecil, and he's fully off balance and exposed. Cecil, you want to hit him or?
Oh, yeah, I'll be swinging like a swill belly. I'll swing.
You're not wrong.
My attack is 30 and I rolled a 36.
Oh, close. Perhaps the extent to which he's overexposed and off balance has confused you as well. You swing, but it glances off his shoulder and no appreciable impact of any kind. Cecily, you are going to get a hit on him, though, if you want to have a go.
Oh, of course I do. This time she grabs her bucket. Because he's clearly not learnt that you don't miss with a Billingsgate fishwife with an arguably Bristolian accent. So she picks up a bucket, which is kind of, she's selling her sprats along the shore. On the dock lines. So it's relatively heavy. It's like probably half full with water and salted fish.
Okay.
She's going to swing that with some heft now.
Okay.
Also, I really have no response to make to Luke's definition of his most recent term.
Yeah, same here.
I have nothing to add to that.
I have nothing to add to that. That is.
I only know that Ewan's ill because he hasn't responded either. Okay. Well, do you want me to roll the percentile again?
Yes, please.
Oh, 20. I'm owning this percentile dice.
20 is good. Given the nature of it being, as you rightly point out, a fairly heavy bucket, can you roll 1d10 for me, please?
Ooh. No, it's 3 again.
A 3, okay.
Yeah.
You clonk him across the sort of upper back and head with it, and it knocks him forward a little way. He turns. He's looking bruised and battered and slightly confused. He can't work out why two people who are fundamentally unarmed have got the better of a man with a sword. And he backs off just a little way as his friend Will arrives, also drawing a sword. A similar kind of weapon. Slim, lightweight. And Will, as he comes up, says, "What's going on?" "These two. Trouble." Will takes a good look and then waits to see if his companion will actually will take the lead, and he does. He's off balance, he's feeling a bit dizzy, he's just been hit in the back with a bucket full of fish, so his tunic probably doesn't smell all that good. And he's going to have a go at Cecil, who's directly in front of him, basically.
Can it be assumed that the whole while this is going on, Cecily has not shut up, and now she's running her fishwife in that peculiarly impossible to ignore tone of voice that female market vendors adopt after a while?
Yes.
And she's just really letting rip now. She thinks this is they were just having a quiet drink, they noticed something untoward, and now suddenly she's got these two idiots coming at her in the most incompetent fashion imaginable. Yep. She is not best pleased.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Well, he has taken a swing, and again he has missed. He is not that coordinated this evening. You can have a reaction if you want, Cecil.
Can I react by shouting to his friend, please?
Yes, of course.
Listen, Yao, you seem like a fine bowcock. But your barnacle here, your toady. If he don't carry on, he'll be knocked down on his farting crackers. Me and my friend here, we may be swill bellies, but we can have you any time if that's needed. All we're doing is just sitting here, drinking our ales. and your friend here comes along, and we're just causing trouble. That's all. That's all.
Okay. Fair enough. You don't want to take a swing at him then?
No, I've gone. Like I'm a man of peace now.
Okay.
The drink has gone to his head. He doesn't want to fight anymore. He's a bit tired now.
All right. Well, Will is going to take on Cecily, who's obviously just swung a bucket.
Wait, is that 17th century euphemism? Let's check.
That's what I'm doing after the stream.
And he has launched a good attack. It's well and true, as they say. So, Cecily, can you remove 10 from your endurance, please?
10 from my endurance.
Yep.
I mean, I can. I don't want to.
In Maelstrom rules, if your endurance hits 0, if you take basically a total of 10 of your endurance level of wounds, you slip into unconsciousness. And everybody, if they hit 100 wounds, dies.
So does that also mean that if you take your endurance level of alcohol, you slip into unconsciousness as well? Maybe we should add that rule to blues.
Yes, and in fact, Maelstrom does contain some quite extensive rules on herbalism and things like that as well.
Ooh. Okay, so he's coming out with what, like a little blade or something?
It's like a rapier.
Another fancy bloody sword. She doesn't even break a sentence. And what are you up to as well, you useless bloody cur? I was chirping merry until you came along with your ridiculous Banbury story of shenanigans across the way. I don't know what's in those bloody barrels, but don't you dare come at me with your pointy thing, because I'll make it floppy like I did your friends. And then she, I don't know, tries to swing the bucket again. She's pretty good with the bucket, it turns out.
Yeah, give it a shot. This is at will, is it?
Yes. Oh dear. Oh no, 29. I thought it was 92. No, it's 29.
Okay. That's a clean hit. So roll...
I promise this dice has more than 2s on it. I promise.
Roll 1d10.
Oh, okay. 9.
9. This is a good hit. This slams Will cleanly in the face, and he takes a good pace or 2 back, having just been hit by a bucket of fish water and sprats, possibly an occasional herring. And as he backs up away, he glares at the pair of you. Get off, run! And
get off and run! You came at us, you silly phobo!
And he starts
Nonsense.
charging in again. This time, having learned his lesson, he's going to go after Cecil.
Oh. Listen, yow bacon-faced bow nasty. Just because you're scared of my bushel bobby friend, don't you come running at me.
Whatever you said, it appears to have worked. He misses with his strike.
Basically, someone who's well-dressed but dirty. A chubby chops who's well-dressed and dirty. Mm-hmm. Stop going after my full-breasted woman friend.
Wow, I'm just going to make shit up now because I can't come anywhere near as good as that, Luke. I'm going to go surfing.
The number of websites I've got open right now.
So my favourite word that I've read, and I can't find a way to use it yet, is thorough cough, which means burping and farting at the same time, and I'm taking that with me.
I'm a fan. Yeah, I saw that. That is a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah.
Yes. Farting crackers was my favourite, but I've used it now, unfortunately. Yeah. That's just your trousers.
Yeah, of course.
Well, they used to have a flap where literally the arse would open up, so they didn't used to take their trousers off to poo.
That's true.
They had a flap that they would drop, so that's why it's probably called that.
Very civilised at a time when loos were very cold.
Very true.
Mm. Yeah. So yes, do you want to launch an attack, and if so,
and
on
chat
which
thought
one?
they were going to be doing space games tonight.
I did. I rolled 29, by the way, which is under my 30.
It is. So which one are you going for? Will, or the one who just attacked you is Will?
I'll go for Will. Or maybe a heathen philosopher, but I'm pretty good with my fists.
Roll 1d6 for me, please.
That is a messy or shabbily attired man whose underwear can be seen through the holes in his trousers.
Oh, Ewan.
Yeah, just like you. It's a 4.
A 4. Okay. The strike hits Will on his jaw. He staggers back, falls to one knee. The sword sort of slips out of his hand, and he drops to the ground, his eyes glazed over. You've caught him with an absolute haymaker. And as his friend looks, startled, he's going to come in and have a go at you.
Can I do something while this is going on?
You can, if you like, yeah.
Can I aim to kick his weapon into the water? I'm assuming that we're on the dockside or on the riverside.
You're some distance away from the river.
I just want to kick the sword away from him, that silly rapier thing. I just want to kick it away and maybe, I don't know, have a look in his pockets. Are we literate? Are we people who can read?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you can.
Okay. So, yeah, then I want to have a look in his pockets and stuff.
Okay. As you're doing that, he's launched an attack which has scored a hit.
Oh, no.
So
on who? This is on Luke.
This is on Luke, yes. So that's
Okay.
7 points off your endurance, please, Cecil.
Oh, no. What did he hit me with?
Rapier.
Oh, no.
Look out, Cecil, he's got you on your puffy sleeve.
Wasn't expecting it from that side. I think he's a bit ambidexter, you know.
Oh, I wouldn't trust him.
It's a bit of a gape seed seeing it coming like that. Couldn't
Then we
quite
can
see.
do it with both hands at once. I wouldn't trust him.
That's all I've heard. No, I'm really mully grabs right now after that.
You can
Right.
you can hit back at him if you like.
Have at thee.
Okay.
And with a 93, that's
a clean miss. Okay. Meanwhile, Cecily has reached into the guy's pouch and pulled out a sort of a piece of paper containing a hand-drawn map or diagram of a cellar complex not far from here.
Is it very obviously underneath the House of Lords?
It isn't, but it's very obviously the entrance that you're looking at, because it includes a pretty good representation of the alley, the hatch that they went down.
She tucks it away and then checks herself over for wounds, because she did get clonked pretty hard. Well, she didn't get clonked, she was stabbed.
Yeah, she's definitely
then,
caught a cut, yeah.
Does that incredibly matronly thing of spitting onto a dirty handkerchief and rubbing it over the cut as if that's going to do anything at all. But as far as she's concerned, that's, how you clean children and cuts and sorts of stuff. So, that's as much first aid as she knows to administer, frankly.
Yes, it doesn't have any effect, of course, but sure.
Of course not.
Yes. Will is sorry, not Will, the other one. Turns around and looks and sees you pocket the piece of paper. And he squares off against you, basically, his blade out. He's a bit nervous of your bucket now.
Oh, she lifts the bucket. Don't you dare take another step forward, Sonny Jim. I'll clunk you like I did your mate, and I've no doubt.
He squares up and he says, "The paper, give it to me."
Not a chance. And by the way, if you're going to hatch a secret plot, at least write a secret bloody note. She's ready for him. She ain't scared.
He is now absolutely convinced that you are a threat to everything that they have got going on. He is going to launch an immediate attack.
Okay.
Which is a miss. He's clearly not the most skillful guy, this guy. And
does he sail right past her?
Yeah, he absolutely does. He's overreached.
Can she clunk him on the buttocks with her bucket as he goes past?
Don't see why not. Roll an attack.
Thanks. Yeah. 17.
17. And 1d10, please.
Hi, Ali. 4. Oh, wait, 1d10. That was a d6. Oh, I'll take the 4. It's fine. It was my fault.
Okay. Well, it turns out it's enough to knock him to the ground. And again, his sword goes skittering along the ground as he loses control of it. He picks himself back up, turns and looks at the pair of you. He says, "If you know what's best for you, give me the paper, now."
Oh, you what? You've been beaten up by an old lady with a bucket and a fellow who don't even know how to throw a punch. What exactly are you going to be doing to make me give you this paper? Come on, Sonny Jim, have a thought.
Watch out, mate. I know how to throw a punch. Just because I'm like 7 points in, just because my hand's a little bit blurry, I've put down many men in my years with these guns, I tell you. You cheeky bab.
Gotta get him out now.
Okay. He looks around to find his sword, and then strides over to pick it up again. His mate's one is you kicked away some distance, but his own is just on the ground, not more than a couple of yards away. So he walks over to collect it. And if you'd like to do something while he's doing that, that's absolutely fine.
Can I spank him with the bucket again?
Don't see why not. Give it a shot.
Okay.
I'll give him a defence to this one because he's probably aware that there's a threat.
Well, she's going to wait until he's bent over to pick up the sword.
Okay. Yep, roll an attack for me.
17.
17. Can you roll 1d10 for me, please?
Yeah. Oh, d10. 7.
7. You swing the bucket towards his backside, and as he bends down to collect his sword, he sort of suddenly turns around to face you, even as he's standing up, going, aha! And in doing so, your aim at his buttocks actually collects the size of his head.
No!
And immediately his eyes roll back and he drops to the ground, the sword falling once again out of his nerveless hand.
She looks at Cecil. You can't say I didn't warn him.
It's a fine shot. Loving that. Now, what was that on that bit of paper you had?
She pulls it out of let's say her pocket. Even though her pocket, like her most convenient pocket, is of course her bosoms, but she pulls it out of an actual pocket, passes it over to Cecil. Get a look at that! I think it's that place right over the road. And as she gives it to Cecil, she then bends down to pat through whatever our idiot friend on the cobblestones has in his pockets now. She roughs him over as well.
Right, let's have a look at this. Oh, that's quite interesting, that. Now, I may not be the smartest man around here, but I think that's that bit over there, pretty close.
You think you're right, my love?
Now, I might be interested in going over there, but finish my point.
Though most of mine just pissed out on the floor. Okay, straight left.
Well, Dab, although I may lost some in my punch, I did keep some. And then he'll sort of chug down the rest of his tankard of ale, with it running down his chin over his scraggly, badly kempt beard, mixing with all the detritus in there before he sort of runs his hand down it, sort of runs it down and sort of squidges it to dry it off a little bit. Flicks his hand to the floor.
She pats Cecil's bicep and says, "What a fine couple of punches you threw, my darling. Come along, Sir Cecil."
Well.
Oh my God, it is kind of Ozzy and Sharon, isn't it? Oh God, well, there you go.
Well, you know.
That's that. She is a bit of a fishwife as well, old Sharon Osbourne.
Yes, but Cecily's a literal fishwife. So.
Oh, I've lost the accent. I don't know where it's gone. I can't even remember it anymore.
Yow.
Say yow.
That's all I can say.
It was the thought of Ozzy Osbourne's just blown it straight out of your mind.
Well, you know. I didn't get the name of Sir Cecil for nothing, you know. It didn't come from those lords and ladies, means nothing to me. I was knighted on the street, my dear, knighted on the street. But these guns in my hand,
Whitechapel Road.
and his beard on my chin. Now put those lovely pair away, and let's go and search and find out what's down there, yeah?
I didn't even get him out, my love. What are you talking about?
In my mind, they're always out, my dear.
I'll tell you what. Let's set these couple of no goods up on the chairs like that. They passed out after a couple of too many.
Oh, like we often are at the end of the night. Yeah.
They know us here.
Do too well, my dear.
She crawls sort of around the doorway and puts like a halfpenny on the table. We'll be off now, love. See you tomorrow. Like that.
Okay.
And he'll sort of pull the other one up and put him on the chair and slap him around the cheek a bit and go, yow's a ratio, yow is.
Just for a bit of good measure, yeah.
Pick yow up, all right?
Okay. Are you collecting their swords before you head off?
Oh, I mean, I think I'm quite comfortable having a bucket as my main weapon, actually.
Fair enough.
But I think she's gonna collect her like the sword and at least throw it somewhere where it won't be that easily recovered. Like behind a bush or something.
I mean, there's not a lot of options for that in basically Parliament Square, as you might imagine.
I just think it might look somewhat out of place on the belt of a fishwife with her massive bottom and her bucket.
Cecily, how long's it been since Yow's had such a long, thin weapon in Now's hands?
More recent than I'd care to admit to you, my love. It's beyond my ken to admit it anymore. I've got to be honest.
Well, given that they're rapiers, it wouldn't be that unheard of for someone like Cecil to be wearing one on each hip, so to speak, if you want to take both.
Oh, you take it. You look proper manly with these on, yeah?
I'll wear them on both hips and both buttocks. I'll wear five. One up front.
If I were a younger woman and you were a younger man...
You don't want to sit down without thinking about it carefully, then.
Don't want to put any holes in my farting crackers.
Yes. That's how those flaps get there, isn't it?
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Right, let's finish these nipperkins and be on our way, then.
You make me laugh so much I nearly did a thorough cough.
All right. So you set the two guys up looking like they've just passed out, a little bit the worse for wear. You collect both of the rapiers and Cecil straps them one to each hip. And you... Well, exactly, Ali. And and you stride off together, with Cecily wielding her bucket in front of her, like she's going to use it to solve the problems of the day.
That Liza Doolittle's mother, I am.
Mostly sprat, some herring.
Can we be arm in arm as well, like kind of jauntily? You know.
Yeah, there's a faint hint of like Morecambe and Wise going off stage together for the pair of you.
We're like Judy Garland and Frank Sinatra in Easter Parade.
Exactly
Well, walk
like that.
down the avenue.
I'll tell you what, Cecily, it's been a few days since I've buried my face in those spratty owls.
And I'll take halfpenny before you get to do it again, my love.
And that is the end of Act 2. So if you would turn to your scripts for Act 3, please.
Oh, right.
Don't
I
pretend
got to do another voice.
Don't pretend this wasn't the script. That was the script bit.
Okay. I mean, I did call her Bucket, though, you know, anyway.
Oh, it's a different voice. Oh, no, it's a whole new voice.
Oh, you've got to be... do you want to be James?
Oh, fuck,
We've
why
got
not?
James, the King James, the Earl of Suffolk, and the Earl of Salisbury. And there are 3 of us, so you guys pick.
Can I be King James?
Of course you can.
Oh, King Jim.
Do you want Suffolk or Salisbury?
I'll take Suffolk.
You take Suffolk. Okay. So, Act 3. St. James's Palace. The King enters with the Earl of Salisbury and the Earl of Suffolk.
I trust you have a purpose in your hearts. Today I go to open up the Lords, and all of England waits upon the word of what will be the nature of the acts that God has called me to ensure are done in his name and by my right, my work to do. I have little time for other things this day of days, so quickly speak your piece.
Our letter, sire, and in it lies a plot. No less a matter will be deigned to bring to trouble thee so early in the morn. But here's a plan laid out to kill a king.
Forgive our rough and unadorned haste. My liege, this letter speaks of foulest crimes, a treason of the worst and vilest sort, and it is set to come to end today.
A plot against the crown is what you say? Then speak and tell me of this evil thing.
Oh, mate, liege, there's a plan to strike the Lords, and on the day the chamber is most filled. It states not that the Lords alone must die, but also says that of the king as well.
'Tis clear there can only be one day that such a letter can describe in full. It must be on the day of state, my liege. This treason cannot be another time. A band of Roman traitors will attack this very day, and we must now prepare.
Show me this letter that you say has treason soaked within the very ink. Ah, yes, I see the nature of the plot, and there is no band of killers standing by to break the doors and set upon the Lords. See, here, this word, and this one here. I have the right of it, I'm sure. It is not by any force of arms, but fire will be the manner of the crime. I must prepare myself to Westminster. I charge you too with breaking up this plot. Let not a single man slip through your grasp.
Exit King James. We were aware already of this thing, that fire and powder was the chosen way.
Ah, 'tis true, friend, but sometimes noble kings must show their skills are greater than their lords. And now good James has shown us he is great. We've earned a task to prove our worth.
We must away to gather up the guards. Each cellar, vault and sewer must be searched. A single man with only flint and steel could at a strike make England slave to Rome. And with the end of Act 4, that's where we'll take our break.
Oh, God, I really feel I need one. I've got to be honest.
So Act 4's coming up next, which is another role-playing part, you understand? And then we have a final Act 5 script to finish off. Thank you, guys. You've really lent into this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. That's all right.
All right, darling, we'll sort you true.
Okay, so we'll be back in just a few minutes to finish off the story as
Ben has literally no words for our performances.
and
That's
not.
what just happened there.
It's fair to say not necessarily a strict and literal interpretation of history, but then it is a Jacobean play. So bear that in mind. So drinks in the interval will be at the bar, especially if you've pre-ordered them, and we will see you guys in just a few minutes for the second half. Thank you. And we're back. We resume after the interval. This is the second half of our play, The Comedy of King James, a recently discovered Jacobean work, and one that probably will never see another performance, I'm guessing.
At least not with the original cast.
Maybe not with the original cast, you never know. It it is, for all of its intricacy, ultimately a very simple story of good people and bad people, and everybody's bad. That's broadly speaking the only thing you need to know about it in order for it to make sense. So
The bucket.
So the action for Act 4 relocates to a cellar close to the House of Lords. And the House of Lords is marked in red on the map on the screen, just so you know.
Just like the seats.
That's rather esoteric of you, Luke.
Thank you very much.
It's true, though. Though this is the old House of Lords, of course, not the current one.
Just like the blood of the poor.
It's rather depressing of you, Luke.
Thank you very much.
So, you creep down into this cellar. It is lit periodically with lanterns. People have obviously been coming and going. There is fresh evidence on the dusty floor of heavy barrels having been moved in and out, and you have in your hand a map that will lead you through it.
All right, Cecily, before we went through the door, did you notice there was a sign of good luck as we came in? Did you notice the great tits outside? There were two great tits. It's a sign of luck, that is.
Oh, you do like your birds, don't you? Come on, Cecil.
I do like them, it must be true. They were perched right there. I do say.
Right at your eye line. You couldn't have missed much you tried.
I do say. Two tits in your hands, one in the bush.
Got nothing.
Is that what they say, Cecil?
It actually is, yes. It's something like that, I think.
Well, if that's what they say, I'm sure they're right.
It's a sign of luck, it is. Come on, you've got the map. Where we got to go?
Should imagine any fellow being rather pleased with himself to have two tits in the hand. Oh, I do believe we go right down it. Look, this is the ramp where we saw him rolling the barrel down.
Oh, yeah. Why don't we check the barrel? It's definitely not got booze in it. Have a little feel in it. Get your finger in the hole and have a little feel in the barrel.
What is wrong with you today? Oh, my God. Oh, you have a rummage around, Cecily. Your rounds are better than mine at that.
That's true, that is. Can I try and pull out the stopper?
There's no barrel here.
Oh, there's no barrel there.
There's no barrel?
No?
We passed the barrel. They've been rolled out.
Oh, look, you can see the tracks. I take it that the torches are... Wait, it's the 16th century, so there'll be like bowls with burning stuff in them, right?
Yep.
Are they portable? Can she reach up and take one?
Yeah, they're in iron
it's
brackets.
not gonna
If you
be
want to
gas
take one
there,
with you,
is it?
that's fine.
Yeah, so she's going to reach up and take one in her non-bucket hand. So she's now got the bucket and the torch.
Sure.
She's like a very old-fashioned Statue of Liberty.
Very, yeah.
And she uses the torch to light the flagstones that they're walking on, and you can see very clearly the scuff marks where the barrels have been pushed and the dust has been disturbed.
Yeah, there's been a lot of activity through here. There are areas where feet have scuffed through the dust, and yes, there are marks on the ground that indicate barrels have been rolled down here.
And is it some kind of a storeroom or a library or a
Where
vault?
you are at the
What's
moment
under
is a
it
sort
generally?
of vaulted entryway with it's just a straight corridor, but at the end there are entrances on both sides into other vaults, which seem to have doors like barred cage doors over them.
Huh. Looks like the barrels are pushed all the way down that way, Cecil. What do you think?
I suppose we might as well just have a look around, try and look through the windows, see if we can find them. See if there's any in one place or if they're all spread out. Oh, my love, you always provide light in a situation.
Oh, you know me. If it's not one thing, it's the bucket. Come on, my love. She puts out her arm as if expecting to be escorted properly again.
Okay.
Cecil pauses, then he sort of rubs any debris and wetness and crumbs off his sleeve, and he offers his forearm to her. Come on then, my love. Let's get down there and see what's there. You watch your feet, though. These cobbles down here, they're a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, a bit lumpy, aren't they? She accepts the offered forearm with a little skip.
Mm-hmm.
Tips her head gladly, like her hat, tips it gladly. And then, walks with
Okay.
Cecil
You
down.
start to make your way down. Can you both roll a perception check for me, please?
Okay. Oh, she's blind as a bat. 47.
I hit a 27, and my perception is 50.
Excellent.
It's one of my skills, that is.
As you make your way down, you start to notice, Cecil, that several of these locked, these sort of cage, barred iron doors, wrought iron doors, are clearly locked and sealed, and don't appear to have been disturbed, at least not recently. But towards the end, on the left, there is one that, though it is closed, looks like it has been used recently and often.
Wait, Bab, look at this.
What's that?
This door seems... Look at this door. The others are locked.
Ooh.
They've not been open for a long time. Look at this door. Get your hand on that knob. Give it a pull.
I do like pulling on a knob. What if it's a bit stiff?
Maybe you need to just sort of move it up and down a bit to see if it'll unstiffen, maybe.
I'll give it a go. Hang on, let me get a good grip.
Can you make an agility check for me, please, Cecily?
Are you actually serious? Cecil,
You're styling it out
Cecil,
for me.
Do you want me or Cecil?
Cecily, please.
I was going to say, I'm just watching.
Oh dear. 98. She doesn't know her way around
Okay.
the knob for.
You pull open the bolt, and it does come open, but it makes this horrible whining, grinding noise that echoes throughout the vault, which may or may not have given away your arrival.
Oh, now, Cecily, that's not the sound you want to hear when you're tugging on the knob.
Look, you know how it goes. I get a good grip and something starts groaning. Normally, it's a good sign.
That's trow. That's trow. That's trow. That's trow.
Come on, let's get inside and see what's going on in there.
After you.
Okay.
She doesn't think that's terribly chivalrous, but she steps forward and prepares to go. But she sort of hands Cecil the torch that she's still holding, so she's at least got one hand free.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You make your way forward down towards the sort of front of this vaulted area. You start to notice that on your right hand side the vault here is a little bit damp. There's just a couple of drops of water running down, a little bit of moisture on it, and it's a slightly rougher surface, as if from time to time, when the river's in the right position, it does tend to leak a bit there. But as you make your way along, that seems to clear itself up, and you get to better and drier and better looked after areas. Can you both roll perception for me, please?
84.
69, unfortunately, which is not good
Okay.
enough. But nice, but not good enough.
You find
That'll
yourself
cost you a penny, my love.
towards the end of this passageway. You come across an opening into a much larger vaulted space, and in that vaulted space, you can just about see from the flicker of the light in front of you. There are shapes looking like a pile of barrels, stacked all on their ends in the middle of the room, with a complex arrangement of pale coloured ropes around them and over the top of them. That's how it appears, anyway. But even as you arrive, someone steps out in front of you. Says, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, hello, my love. Will sent us. Look, see, I got his map here. He said he couldn't make it for the last part of the plot and that we were taking his place. But he forgot to tell us what the word was because he was busy getting sozzled up at the Green Bull, which is where you'll find him if he wants to go and check.
Um, can you roll a persuade for me, please? Persuasion.
Oh, I got plus 10 on that.
Oh.
23.
Oh, it's persuasive.
Very good. Okay. So he looks a little bit confused, but he nods. He buys at least what you're saying, and then he says, "I'm John. We haven't met,
All right, John. No, I know that.
but I could use your help." And he waves you on into the main part of the cellar.
As Sir Cecil walks past, he reaches into a pouch of his trousers and brings out a drinking flask, and he hands it over to John. He says, "All right, John, as it's the first time meeting, here's my special brew from inside my farting crackers. Maybe a bit of a Horatio, but maybe you'd like to share a glug or two with me."
John.
And Cecily holds the bucket right up to John's face and goes, "Would you like a sprat?" Love.
Cecily, can you roll a persuade for me, please?
Oh, I can. 17.
17.
Oh, very good.
He reaches in and takes a sprat and says,
You are cheap.
I'll have this for dinner," and puts it in his pocket. But he does take a swig of the flask.
It's a nice bit, isn't it? Come on. Where do we need to go? What do we need to do? Let's get this done. Back to the pub.
He says, "Leave the torch by the door. It's bad to have it too close to the barrels."
Why? What's chaos? Guess. Suddenly realising that he doesn't want to give away that they're not part of whatever it is by asking too many questions. He takes the torch and puts it down by the door. It's quite dark in here without the torch, though.
It is, but dark is our friend. Follow me, and he walks you over towards this arrangement of barrels. They're all standing in a sort of all standing on their end in one flat layer. No barrel is piled on top of another, and they've been bound together with a thick coil of rope which runs all the way around all of them, tying them together into one unit. The tops of the barrels have all had their individual bungs removed, and
Ben said bung.
indeed, and um, and John is in the process, it seems, of running um, long pieces of white paper um, into them. These are twists of paper, basically. So he shows you what he's doing. He's taking a long piece of this paper, and it's twisted out to like 60 feet, that kind of length. And then he's pushing one end deep into the barrel after making a little hole with a small tool like a marlin spike. He pushes the end of the paper deep into the bottom of that hole, and then presses down the powder inside around the end of it, and then takes a little piece of string and ties off the paper at the neck of the barrel, and lashes it to the rope around the main body of them. And once he's shown you to do this, he says, "Right, those ones over there, they need doing."
Hey, golly. Higher than the Tower of Babel, this lot. That's really all she's got to say on the matter. She just gets on with the job.
So Cecil sort of leans down with this sort of twist of paper near to Cecily, and he whispers quietly to her, "You know, I think this might be something explosive or something. Look at the way this is all set out. No light nearby. These papers tying it together. What are we underneath right now?"
Can Cecily lick her finger and discreetly stick it into a barrel and then withdraw it and lick her finger to see what it tastes like?
It
This is
tastes.
a gunpowder. It's a very early gunpowder age, isn't it? She would recognise what this would be.
It tastes strongly of sulfur and slightly acidic.
I think you're right, Cecil. I think that's travel afoot. And I think we've gone under the river and we're now under the Palace of Westminster, which means we are now part of something that I don't think we necessarily want to be part of.
Bloody hell. Don't want to be part of that.
I think you're right, Cecil.
All I came out for tonight was a few drinks with my lovely Cecily, and to throw a few sprats at posh people coming past of an evening.
Did love throwing a spray at a potion.
Oh, knocked a few hats off heads earlier, didn't we? But it's all gone wrong now. We'll be
I
knocking
saw
more
him
than
on his
hats.
arse, well, didn't I?
Oh, that was
Yes, it
the
was.
highlight of my night. Highlight. But we'll be blowing more than a few hats off some poshos. This goes on.
I think maybe we need to not be here very much longer.
Think you
What do you
might be
think,
right.
Cecil?
Think you might be right. But what are we going to do? Do we just run away in the dark and just let it go? Or do we do something about it?
How many people are around us? How many people have we seen in this cellar? And how
Just
big is
John
it,
for the
roughly
moment.
speaking? Just John.
Bear in mind, though, your perception rolls were not brilliant.
There's no need to get personal now, Bucky.
Just the way we are. We've got quite a few drinks in.
I'll tell you what. Give old John another sip of your wit flask. Is it the good brew that you put in there? The one that, like the 3-sipper?
Oh, it's the good stuff. More than a swig of that will send your eyes spinning in your head and you'll grow hair on your nose.
Yeah, I know. Look at my nose. Look at that.
I'll tell you what, that's thicker than it used to be. You'd be You in
I'm
Permy?
calling this one Charlie.
Charlie! Ah,
Charlie.
it's a right Charlie, isn't it?
Charlie the Twizzler. That's that
Yeah,
one.
that is a right Twizzler.
He's grown out of Mikey the Mole. Look at that.
It's
He's
right.
named after the Archangel Michael, who came to, I don't know, I haven't read my Bible in a while. Too busy selling me sprats. Tugging on knobs.
You can't open the Bible with the same hand that you're tugging on knobs with. That's for sure.
No, without wiping it first.
Right. I tell you what, that's a good idea.
Drifting.
Let me get my hip flask and I'll go and talk to this guy. Maybe offer him another couple of swigs. Take the edge off, maybe. Let's see if he goes for it. You know, the Catholics, they do like a bit of a drink.
Even though they say sorry for it after, they definitely drink more than us Protestants.
Yeah, I know. We're better at puking it out afterwards. Go on. And he grabs his hip flask and he wanders over to James.
John.
John, sorry. And he offers it to him.
Okay.
And he says, we've been doing quite well over there. We're getting things on. I wondered if you wanted another couple of swigs. It's the good stuff. And it feels like it's nice to wet the whistle, if you know what I mean.
He takes a sip and says, "Thank you."
Yeah, that's okay. And he takes another swig. And he hands it back. He says, where I'm from, in Birmingham, what you're supposed to do is you like take 2 quick swigs each as like a big toast, you know. You've done one, me one, you one, me one. And that sort of seals the deal. And offers it to him again.
He'll take another swig and offer it back.
Oh, good man. And he takes another swig. And he says, are we expecting any more people down here? Is it just us tonight?
Roll a persuasion for me, please.
I can. It's the one thing I'm relatively good at, theoretically.
Would Cecily fairly blatantly hefting her boobs again? Would that help with the persuasion roll?
It's
You know, they don't have corsets. They don't have good bras. Like, there's no architecture helping those things stay in place. She's got to arrange them all the time.
Pull me back.
it certainly can't hurt. Put it that way.
Okay.
It's a 45 anyway, and my target was a 50.
Okay.
So,
I
was started to heat up.
He says, there are a couple more around.
That's good, because I think with that, if it's just us, I don't think we'll get it all done. That's good to know. Anyway, what's the plan for when these are all gone? Is there a way to get out? I don't fancy being here when it's all complete, you know.
You don't need to worry about that. I'm staying.
You're staying? Wow. And he hands his hip flask over to him and says, well, then maybe you might need to keep this. See it as a going away present, you know.
Thank you. He takes it and attaches it to his belt.
Anyway, I'll get back to the lovely Cecily and we'll finish what we're doing.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
He bends back to his work, and he's, setting up another one, working as swiftly as he can, but carefully as well.
What did he say, Cecil?
Well, he said apparently that there are another couple of people around, and that when it's all done, that he's going to stay here. He's going to be the one that stays here.
He's mad as a hat, that one.
He's mad.
Though he likes his drink, doesn't he?
He does like his drink.
I think it might be the time for us to make a scarper out of there.
You know, I think you might be right.
Feeling. I have a terrible feeling.
A terrible feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how I get in my waters sometimes.
I tell you, you do.
And I got my twitchy toe.
You twitchy toe.
Mm,
Is it
twitchy
twitching,
toe.
twitching away?
Oh, it's like it's walking off on its own, Cecil, I tell you.
Oh, that's always a sign. What was it you say? What's the rhyme you say about your toe?
Itchy toe, itchy toe. Tell me everything you know.
If it's still, you can stay. If it twitches, you must go.
Then fuck off away.
That's right. Well, we've always got to follow the toe. That's what I always say. Follow the toe.
Follow the Arabic toe. Right, I think. Shall I go and make some polite excuses?
Yes.
Oh, I know what I'll say. Hang on. So she goes over to John. John. His name is John.
John.
I know this. His name is John. All right, my love. I see you gave you the rest of the good stuff. I'm thinking my back's giving me a bit of shit, mate, and I left my vapors back in the house. But if you like, I can go and try and get Will and send him back in my place. But I might need Cecil to take me home is all. Because, see, I'm bloody tired. And I've been up all night. And you don't even know what it's like down at Billingsgate Market at this time of day. And I've got to go and fill up my bucket.
Can you roll a persuasion, please, for me?
14.
14. Okay. He
My
says,
rolls are off the chart. If only rolling this shit is good normally.
Yes.
he says, all right, but hurry. There's work to be done.
Oh, I know. You didn't bring us along into this for nothing, you know. It's all right, it'll get done. Shall I bring you back a nice hot pie or more sprats? What do you fancy, love? Shall I come back with some breakfast?
No, just nimble fingers. That's all we need now.
Oh, you need to talk to Cecil about his...
Oh,
You've got a lovely pair of nimble fingers, haven't you, Cecil?
Oh, she is right. I do like to play with her lily white balls. Polish your apples. That's what I like to do. Come on, Cecily. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go find,
Leave this man.
find young Will. He'll be better suited for this kind of work.
It's more his work.
See,
How did
he
you end up
said,
down here
said
anyway?
he'd be rolling barrels, not fishing about with bits of paper. He said it was barrel rolling he needed help with. So clearly we turned up too late. I'll send him back down though. I'll get him all sozzled up. I'll throw some water over him or something. Make him eat a couple of raw sprats. He'll be fine in no time to carry on working. Lazy bugger.
All right. Are you making your way out the same way you came in?
Very ostentatiously, yes.
Okay.
Muttering the whole time about how lazy Will is.
Can you both roll a perception for me, please?
71. Blind as a bat.
3.
3.
3.
Fantastic.
See everything.
Cecily, as you're making your way down, you suddenly feel Cecil's hand grip your arm and stop you in your tracks. You're roughly back at that gate you pulled open.
Yeah.
Cecil, you have heard footsteps clattering down the first part of the passageway before you turned into that gate, and they're coming closer.
Do they sound... describe the footsteps for me, please.
They are not loud in themselves. They sound like leather-soled boots. People hurrying but not making a lot of noise.
Is there anything around that could be hidden behind?
Not in the passageway you're in, no. You could, in theory, try and bolt across the vault outside the gate and see if you could get into one of the other vaults on the other side. But where you are, it's just a straight passageway.
Bab, is someone coming down the passageway?
Oh,
No.
but, I mean, we could tell him that John knows we're here if we get rumbled.
It depends. It might not be his friends, if you know what I mean. We don't want to be seen here. Let's look.
Or worse,
Let's
might be bloody Will.
let's make it across. He won't be happy, will he? Let's make it across this little space. Let's try and get through this door. This time you tug on the knob. Try not to get the groan, okay?
All right, my darling. I will. Nice and quiet tugging. That's what I'll do.
All right. You're going to dash across the space. I need both of you to make a speed check for me, please.
Oh,
I got +10 in speed. I was worried you were going to say agility because I didn't put anything in that.
We're coming to that in a second.
Oh, 22.
Okay.
Oh, all right. I got
That's enough.
37, so I'm just under.
Okay.
There.
And you nip across, and as far as you can tell, you're there in time to get to the gate. I'm going to need an agility check from you to see if you can open it without making a fuss.
Oh,
Come on.
crap.
Come on, Yao. You can do it. Come on.
She sticks her tongue out the corner of her mouth.
Come on.
She closes her eyes.
Just think
She gets a good
you're trying to break in
kind of
to the market.
stretches her fingers out on both hands and flexes her wrists. And maybe she kneels
start
down a little
massaging
bit
the
like her mother.
shoulders. Come on. I believe in Yao. Believe in Yao.
Oh, you're going to believe it. 11.
An 11.
Oh,
Fantastic. This one, for whatever reason, you just flick it and it flies open with no trouble at all, and just the faintest of snicks as the metal slips home, and the gate swings open in front of you, and you can just nip inside.
Quick, life, get in there. Quick. They both sneak inside
She
again.
presses herself again. Quick, hide under my skirts.
That's always Yao answer to everything.
You always want access, so what are you talking about?
Okay. All right.
And I
I
guess
think Ben's waiting for you to hide. It's
There
fine.
are two.
I bet they creep inside and sort of pull the door, sort of two kind of thing.
Yeah. As you do so, you hear the footsteps getting closer and closer, and then you see two figures dressed in dark clothing. They come past the gate that you're in and turn their backs to you and head off down towards where John is with the barrels. They don't seem to notice you, and they don't seem to react to your presence in any way.
Do we recognise them at all?
No.
Oh. Yeah, Cecil, while we're down there, take off those sodding swords and put them behind a barrel or something.
Tell you what, it's a good idea. I'm never good with them anyway. I'll have my eye out and your eye out. Let's leave these here. And yeah, he'll take them out and he'll put them down behind, sort of in the room, propped up behind stuff.
Okay.
Make sure no children, no little kiddie winkies get hold of them now.
Whoa, that'd be bad news.
Of course, this is the 17th century. No kids under the age of 4 should be allowed a sword.
Wow, they've all got jobs when they hit 4 years old. Come on.
A little quickness gone mad.
I mean, our youngest of 11 is what, old enough now to at least be a chimney sweep.
At least. He's got good long fingers. Gets it from me.
Like his dad.
That's like his dad. He gets his fingers up those little dusty spaces. Cleans out those crevices. He's a good sweep, that boy.
Oh, Cecil.
Yeah.
Oh, Cecil.
It's just a shame he's got
still
your
make my heart flutter. Keep talking like that, we'll be popping out our 12th in 9 months.
With the economy the way it is now.
We can sell him. We don't have to keep him ourselves.
No more about. Got more babu. We've already got 7. Why do you want an 8th all of a sudden? It's always the same.
Well,
It's always the same. Any time we're in sort of a dangerous situation in the dark, you get all frisky. Always popping out a babby this. Fancy another
it's just
babby this? Oh, this is your long fingers, that.
It's like that time we went on that holiday to Croydon. Do you remember? And we got stuck in that carriage with the the people at the side of the road asking for money, otherwise you're gonna get it. And oh, I got it, all right, but not from them.
Ah, and then you gave it to them both guns?
Oh, that bucket never lets me down.
Oh, look, I tell you what, if we get back tonight and you still got some sprats in that bucket you can fry up for me, maybe we'll think about it.
Oh, Cecil, don't be teased. I think it might be safe now. Should we make our way out just in case?
Yeah, might be for the best.
Okay. So you're heading out towards the entrance?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I'm assuming that's the only way that we can go other than back into John's cavern.
Basically, yes.
No, not John's cavern.
No.
Okay. So you head your way that way, and
Immediately tiptoeing like Terry Jones and
Yeah.
John Thumb.
yeah, like a cartoon character. Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
So you make your way up to the ramp and the stairs with the rollers, the rolling rails on both sides, leading up to the surface.
Yeah.
And are you climbing?
Well, yeah. I mean, Cecil, you're gonna have to help me. I've got these bloody skirts on again.
It's all right. Just get your foot on my hand and I'll give you a boost.
First time he said that to me this week. And she does exactly that. She just climbs, like puts her foot into where he sort of lays his fingers together and reaches while he boosts her up.
Okay. So the two of you, slightly cooperatively, make your way up the steps and up the ramp. Can you both roll perception for me, please?
Oh, 96.
96. Oh, and I've hit 65 and I needed to get below 50. Ah.
Okay.
Oh.
As you get to the top, it is perhaps unfortunate that just at that moment, and you don't see him coming, you see the shadow of a slightly bruised-looking Will loom above you, looking down as you climb up out of it. And he can't decide what to do. He obviously can't yell for help or anything. So he hurls himself straight at you as if to knock you back down into the cellar.
Hello, Will. Can she talk in the time it takes him to cover the distance?
You can certainly say something, yeah.
Okay. Should we say, just seen your mate John? We were just finishing off the barrels for you, like good Catholics. No, like good Protestants. Like good plotsters. We were just doing it, and he said not to worry at all if you've tied one on, and to come back later when he's ready to start the jobbing.
I mean, by all means, roll a persuasion, but it's going to be an insanely high difficulty.
Okay. So 81 isn't going to get there.
No, I'm afraid not. He hurls himself at you guys, and his 14 is quite enough to grapple the pair of you, and all three of you tumble together down to the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, I'm a good Christian woman, I am.
He he has taken a couple of points of damage. Can you have one off your endurance, please, Cecily? And two
Yeah.
off yours, Cecil.
Thank you. Yeah, get off me, you ass worm. Get off my Cecily. You antiquated rogue. And he starts flailing his arms around us.
Okay, make an attack for me, please. That's your attack skill.
It's a miss. It's 76, which my attack skill is not.
Okay. He's going to try to punch you. That's 47, which is not good enough for him. So he
Don't
misses
you
as well.
try that on me. I'm the fighting king of this place. As he misses again.
In the time it takes these two to sort of windmill at each other a few times, can Cecily have recovered like her feet and her poise and taken the stock of the situation a little bit, and then roll up her sleeve and get ready for a great big roundhouse punch to the side of Will's face?
Yeah, give it a swing. Yeah, make an attack.
All right. 31. Oh, no, that's fine. Haha, I needed 40.
Okay, can you roll 1d6 for me, please?
1d6. 1.
1. I mean, you definitely connect, but it's yes, Lee, exactly. you definitely connect, but it's very glancing. He's got fight in his eyes, and though he's not making what you might call deliberate noise, the scuffle is not particularly quiet. You're slightly worried it might attract attention.
Can she keep his attention somehow on her, and try and turn him so his back is to Cecil? And she's just trying to keep him focused on her. Yeah, so that Cecil can make the best chance at knocking him out that he can. So she'll just be like talking shit to him and, come on, you rogue, who do you think you are? Even though I don't got a bucket, I can still have the best of you. Just you wait. Nicked your sword, hurt your mate, got your plot, took your job, did your job. What more can you take, you rubbish rogue? Come on, show me what you got. You haven't even hurt me yet. She's ignoring, of course, the cut on her arm that he gave her.
Yeah, it is a fresh wind.
I'm going to suggest that you roll a persuasion for me, please. See if you can keep his attention.
Oh, gosh. 35.
35.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Is that enough?
Yeah, just.
Okay. Yeah, you do get his attention. He's focused on you now rather than on Cecil.
Cecil is going to pick up the fallen bucket of sprats and will try and swing it at the back of his head. Shout, sort of calling out as he does it, sort of in dismay. He's like, I guess I won't be having any sprats after all. He swings the bucket sort of very hard.
Okay. Roll an attack, please.
It hits 25.
25. 1d10, please.
Big clunking. A D10. Oh, yeah, put one of them. I love it that. What is a 0, Ben?
10.
Oh, then it's a 10.
10. All right. You hit him cleanly across the back of the head, and it's as if all of the strength goes out of his knees. He falls to his knees, slumps sideways on the floor. He is unconscious and out for the count. And just as you're doing that, you see the two guys you saw just a few moments ago start running down the vault towards you.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry, Dad. I've lost all your sprats. Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh, we can get more at the market. Let's go. Let's scarp them before they get the roses. Oh, wait, should we get the roses?
I scarf.
Let's get out.
Scarper.
Can you both make speed checks for me, please?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, 64.
64?
64.
Oh. 8.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Go, Cecil, save yourself.
Save yourself. Tell my story.
Well, but believe it or not, the two pursuers rolled a 6
Ooh.
and a 51, which means there's effectively enough for them to take one view each, if you know what I mean. The quicker one will sprint past Cecily, and try to catch Cecil as he makes it up to the top of the steps. The slower one will still be able to catch up with Cecily as she struggles with her long skirts on the steps.
Oh no!
Um,
Get off
and
my!
and how do you want to handle this? Do you want to turn around and try and hit them and knock them back, or are you just going to keep going and hope that
I'm
they don't
wondering if
land a
there's a
big
way
hit
that
on
I
you?
can persuade you that in her struggle to climb to her feet, she might have thrown an arm or something into the guy that was running past her as he was running past her, and maybe tripped or slowed him somehow.
You know what? Make an agility check for me. Why not?
Okay. 11.
11. As
Go on, Cecily.
right. What I'm going to say is because you decide to do that, I'm not going to give you the choice on what happens at the beginning of your engagement with the other guy.
No. No, that's fine.
Can you roll a 1d6 for me, please?
4.
Okay. You manage to land a sort of a swing out onto his arm, catch him a little bit. It is enough to knock him so he falls against the side of the stone because he's moving at speed. It doesn't take much to knock him off balance. And he slips and falls, hurting his knee a bit on the stone steps as he tumbles down. You have absolutely bought Cecil some time to get away. As a consequence of that, however, the other one is going to get an attack on you.
Oh no.
That's a 39. That's not going to be enough for him. Confused perhaps by the fact that you weren't paying attention to him and were going after the other guy, he's cleanly missed. The ground is a bit slippery, a bit dusty, a bit muddy in places, and he's
Covered
slid
in
to a
water
halt.
and sprats.
But it is.
Slippery sprats.
But yeah, and saltwater sprat, some herring. It is basically not going well for him as he slides there. Cecil, back to you. What's happening at the top of the stairs as you reach them?
Turning around and seeing Cecily fallen on the floor. Cecil can't bring himself to live if living this without her. And so he turns at the top of the stairs and at his pursuer, he attempts a flying elbow drop.
What a guy!
Okay, this is on the one who's still threatening Cecily, not the one she knocked to the floor.
Yeah, I'm going full Shawn Michaels on him.
Okay, roll an attack for me, please.
Oh no! So I need to hit 30, and I hit 31.
Oh, that's agonisingly
Ouch.
close. Agonisingly close. He sees you coming and he literally just dodges out of the way. I mean, misses him by millimeters, and he just dodges out of the way as you land in a sort of slightly ungainly heap on the stone next to him.
Oh, that's gone spinning right up my funny bone. That has. Oh,
I love you so much, Cecil, for trying.
I'll let him get his hands on you, my dear.
Not even for a halfpenny. Come on, you, let's go. She's, I don't know, whichever one is closest at this point. I think probably the one that she knocked down that was chasing Cecil.
Okay.
She's going to try and, I don't know, punch him in the kidney. I'm assuming he's got his back to her as he's trying to regain his feet.
He's staggering to his feet, so mainly he's facing the exit because that's where the way the steps would make him line up. So you've kind of got his side more than anything else.
Oh, excellent. In that case, yeah, she's definitely going to aim one for the kidney.
All right. Roll an attack, please.
Come on, Cecily. Oh. No, either way, it's not good. 69.
Nice.
Okay. You swing, but in the dark, difficult terrain and all the rest of it, you slip and don't make contact. He is going to have a swing at Cecil. But that's a 60. So he misses as well. Cecil?
will, with his good elbow, not his tingling one there, he'll try and swing an elbow into the man's face, please.
The one you tried to attack before, or the one who was on the stairs?
The one that's swinging at us. Who's trying to hit us? That one.
All right, that one. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's more like it. 24.
Great. You land a hit. 1d6, please.
It's a 3.
A 3. Brilliant.
Yes.
Okay. You land a fairly firm, punch into his midriff somewhere, and he lets out a gasp of air, but he's still got fight in him and plenty of it. The other one picks himself up, and he swings at Cecily.
But he's below me on the ramp, is he?
He's sort of he's a few steps away now, or he had just backed off a couple of steps away from the bottom of the stairs. He's now stepped in towards you.
Okay.
Now that, believe it or not, is a 99.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, Cecily just totally won without
he does
even breaking the sword.
really badly. And I'm going to suggest that's so badly that he actually trips and falls on his face, taking a couple of points of damage in the process. Okay. So.
Oh God. Okay.
So, Cecil, you're up. Oh no, sorry, Cecily, you're up.
Okay, so as that fella falls down onto his face, she's gonna kick him. And she's not gonna be nice. This is a proper survival kick. And she's an old town girl. She knows how to do this. So she's gonna aim a proper cracker right at the side of his head with her shoes.
All right. As he's literally just stumbled on the ground, I'm going to give you advantage on this one. So can you roll 2 sets of percentile and take the lowest?
Okay. Well, 30 or 27. Doesn't matter either way she makes it.
So either way was a hit. Okay, yes. 1d6 for me, please.
5.
Excellent. You connect solidly, and it looks like...
Do we see that Ben is counting down to something in chat, by the way? I'd just like to point that out.
Oh. He is. Quick, hurry up.
So her intention is to kick him, and if it lands and does any kind of stunning, has to catch his breath or grab, she's going to try and get herself free and continue trying to get out. And yeah, her whole intention now is to escape.
I think given that hit, I'm entirely comfortable with her starting to make her way up the ramp after landing a hit. He is going to have a chance to try to pursue, but I'm going to make him make an agility check to do that.
Okay. Come on, Cecil, we can get out of this still. It's not too late, but we're raising a hell of a ruckus, and I don't want to get caught down here with these nasty lot.
Which is a 78. So he grasps at you as you make your way, but you start to climb up the stairs. Cecil.
Cecil's going to try and get to those stairs. There's been a ruckus made. There's bodies sort of sprawling and dropping here, there, and everywhere, dragging themselves up. And he wants to try and get Cecily and himself up the stairs and out of it as best as possible.
Okay. Can you make an agility check? Because the guy's going to try and grapple you as you do, basically.
Yes. 48, he probably will grapple me.
Well, you say that, but he's done a 63, and I think under the circumstances this should be an opposed one. So you do slip his grasp, effectively. He catches you, but not enough to stop you. And you do pull free and start to make your way up. Both of you, as you start to climb the stairs, you can hear the 2 men behind you, and they're both climbing behind you as well. Can both of you make speed checks for me?
Oh, come on, Cecily, this time. Oh, 60.
Oh, really? 21.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Okay.
She's just not fast. Bless her.
She's just not a fast woman.
Just not a fast woman.
So, Cecil, you make it to the top of the stairs in time. And as you get there, you've got a little bit of breathing room. You glance over your shoulder. About halfway up the stairs, the two men have caught up with Cecily and are grabbing hold of her. They're trying to hold on. Cecily, can you make a strength check for me, please?
What's a strength check? Is that
Sorry,
attack?
endurance.
Okay. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, now that's against the amended total of the original
It is,
number.
yes.
Against the amended.
The current.
So she's
total.
got to get under a 19. Oh my
Yep.
god. Okay. Come on, Cecily. Oh, I kind of want to photograph this just to prove it happened. 14.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I
Well
really
done.
should make these rolls in Discord because they're so much more amazing when other people can see them.
As you
14.
look down, Cecily, you actually see that, to your amazement, Cecily, with a burst of uncharacteristic strength, pushes through these two guys who've tried to grab hold of her, and she just shrugs them off and keeps coming up towards you. And the two of you crest out of the top with her just, a yard or two behind you.
Come on, my bad.
She
Let's get
pushes
going.
No, you bloody don't. She throws her hands up to Cecil to give her a quick pull out the hole.
Out,
So much breath.
come on.
Oh, come on, Cecil. Bloody hell, I didn't think we'd ever get free. Those two, they're up to no good.
Yao did amazing. Come on, let's get out quickly.
Oh,
Well,
you're my hero.
You're my hero.
But my bucket, Cecil, I lost my bucket.
So I tell you what. Sell one of the kids and I'll buy you a nice new one, okay?
Oh, I'll sell the middle one, Henry. He's no good. He's too fat for the bloody chimney shaft now. And there's no mine round here that'll take him, and he's no good on a fisher boat because he tips him up at one end. So yeah, we'll sell old fat Henry.
Can you both roll a perception for me, please?
Just in case Henry's
Is this
turned up.
about how fat Henry is?
This
Yeah.
is about how fat Henry is, yes.
Oh, sorry, Henry. Didn't notice you there.
39.
Oh, is that a...
Oh, do you know what? I've got 40. So I made it. I actually made a perception check. Yeah.
And I had 41 and my perception's 50.
Brilliant. As the two of you spill out onto the old palace yard, you can actually see a few groups of people meandering about. So if you want to sort of run over and be around people who aren't currently engaged in trying to overthrow the kingdom, there are people you can run towards.
Well, we got to think about this, Cecil, because we're just coming out of a cellar that's full of gunpowder and people who look very much like they want to kill the king. And there's no reason for anybody else to think that we weren't also up to no good with that lot instead of fighting for our lives because we're just nosy buggers.
I tell you what, my lover. See, I'm trying to learn it from Yao.
Really, darling?
What we'll do, yeah, quickly, play with your petticoats, push them down a bit and giggle. People think we've just gone down there for a little bit of pumpy.
Oh, a little bit of suck and tickle.
Exactly.
So clever, Cecil. And in a way, we're not even lying. She leans, she finds the nearest wall and sort of pulls the shoulders of her dress down a bit and pulls her petticoats up a little bit and pinches her cheeks so she looks all flushed.
Okay.
And gives a little giggle. Like that.
Can you
Barbara Windsor.
can you roll for me, please, a persuasion check? And both of you can do this. We'll treat this as almost like a task chain, if you know what I mean. You're setting a scene for people.
I've started it well. 30 out of 50.
Oh, I got 47 from 40.
That's enough. Because you were
Yeah.
30 out of 50, weren't you?
I was, yes.
So that's 20 under as opposed to 7 over.
Yes.
So
I sold it more. It's because I pulled the flap of my trousers down and pulled it back up again.
it's classical training under Alain's acting school, isn't it? That's what it is.
Exactly what it's all
So,
about.
so the two of you, hurl yourselves into a little dark corner by the entrance to the cellar, and immediately and convincingly look like, depending on who's looking and how charitable they're thinking, either a harlot and her client, or a married couple who are having a good time, or whatever, But you look utterly convincing as denizens of the city of Westminster in the middle of the night, which is convenient for you because at that exact moment, round the corner come half a dozen of the King's Guard, running and spreading out to sort of look for entrances into cellars and the like. They catch a glimpse of the two slightly bruised and battered guys hauling themselves out of the cellar, and put two and two together and come up with, let's face it, four, and charge on towards them. Um, the two guys
Blimey.
run down the cellar and away, pursued by the guard, and it is scant moments later when you see more guard come, and then more, and then a couple of people are standing there yelling for additional personnel. And as you sort of quietly wander off, minding your own business and trying to look as innocent as you can, covered in bruises and with a stab wound each, the you do see both of those two guys and John being dragged out of the cellar at sword point and marched off. And that's the end of Act 4, which leads us to just one more act in this play.
This is now the story that Cecil and Cecily are going to be dining out on for the rest of their lives, the day they save the king.
Absolutely.
Like, no question asked. That's what the rest of... And their kids are going to be like, oh, this again. It's going to be like every Christmas. Did I tell you the time that we saved the king? Sit down, my love, and I'll let you know.
Give it 2 Christmases and the kids will be asking to be sold.
Let's just not tell him the bit about the knob.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Act 5. Now, conveniently, you guys pick the parts, and it turns out I don't have a part in Act 5, but you two both do.
Well, even more conveniently, look how much more Luke has to say than me.
No.
So, Act 5. St. James's Palace. The King is speaking with Suffolk.
My Lord Suffolk, come tell me of the news. Have all the plotters each been found and caught?
Ah, every one, my liege, and some alive. The dead include the leader Catesby, and among the living is the plotter Fawkes, who was the man entrusted with the task of setting off the fire beneath the lords. They all alive and dead, will now be judged.
'Tis well, and of the penalty, what does my noble Suffolk in his grace propose?
Well, mercy, sire, as always is my choice, you know me. As for the dead, they'll be treated well, beheaded, burnt, and buried in the night, in soil unhallowed by a single priest.
Huh.
Dirty
Kind
soil.
treatment. Oh. Dirty, sorry. Kind treatment. Maybe more than they deserve, but kindness costs us nothing in the end. That speaks to what will happen to the dead. But what now of the living? What of them?
Mercy, sire, again I ask of you. They first will be suspended by the thumbs, their little thummies. Then spend some time relaxing on the rack.
Ooh.
And when their tendons tear and their joints come free, then they'll be released to face their fate. They each will be removed to such a place as they can be hanged briefly from a tree. They'll be left alive through this, of course, as mercy is the order of the day. While breath still lingers somewhat, they'll be cut down, and then by means of sharpened hooks, the entrails will be pulled out from within. In this too is mercy clearly shown, but they will die soon after this begins. Then their remains split into fourths, and each of them buried in a different shire Such is the mercy that the just expressed, and in this way they all shall meet their end.
Ha! And I shall send a bill to Parliament declaring that from now till Judgment Day we will give thanks for our deliverance upon the 5th of November each year.
And exiled.
Also, I'm really hoping that that is what's going to happen to Matt Hancock in the jungle. I'd vote for it. I'd watch that shit and vote for it.
I mean, it would probably be a ratings winner.
I mean, hung, drawn, and quartered, a bit off piste for I'm a Celebrity, but I think they'd go for it. I think they'd make an exception.
Day one, it's just being suspended by the thumbs. That's okay.
Yeah, it's easy enough. He can do that. He doesn't need them.
Well, thank you both of you. Please take a bow. You were wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ben, for writing such a beautifully ridiculous and wonderful game for us to play.
Well,
Yeah,
it was very, very silly. But, you know, it's a one-shot. Silly is okay.
Silly as it.
I rather fell in love with Cecily and Cecil in the end. I think we need to bring them out like every now and again. I think they're a brilliant comedy gold pair.
That's a strong word.
Thank fuck I didn't have to name all those children.
Oh man, it was good. I enjoyed it muchly.
Brilliant. Well, I thought it was great fun. Thank you, guys. It was very good of you to lean into that one. I know it's a bit weird.
Thank you. Oh, we do weird though, that's fine. We do weird, we do voices, and we do improv. Badly. All of these things badly, but with great commitment.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. Doing things badly.
Yeah. So, Monday night, Luke.
Yes, Monday night. We're moving from the 17th century to the future. We'll return to Cyberpunk 2077, which is the video game I've been playing on Thursdays and Mondays. I can't remember where we're at. I think we were about to do something, but I can't remember.
You just got paid by the lady who did not absolutely want to pay you. We've been to Jackie Wells' funeral.
Drink one out.
And then we're about to go do a job. About to do a big job in some cloudy place.
Yes. There'll be fun times. I promise you fun times on Monday, people, if you turn up. And
fun day.
I give you guys a bit of a choice over what mission we do. We'll take photos, we'll buy costumes together when we've got the money. We'll waste all our money on clothes. We'll have a good old time.
No, we need $15,000 dues to do that thing that seemed quite important.
Oh, yeah, with Rogue, yeah, I need to get 15,000. Right, I've got to find a fridge for someone, that's what I've got to do, innit?
Oh, we got a bike. We got Jackie Wells' Throbbing Hog.
Jackie Wells.
Yeah, Jackie Wells.
He never looked happier than when he was on that Throbbing Hog.
Yeah. Yeah, just as well he never met Cecily. He should have been all over that thing like a rash.
Could you imagine? I could imagine her on the back of that.
Pumping her bosoms about.
With a lot of sprat, some herring.
With a lot of sprat.
It's like a 17th century airbags with her behind her.
I mean, why not?
And on that bombshell.
Thank you very much, guys. See you on Monday, Luke.
Yeah, see you Monday.
Thanks, chat. Thanks, Ali and Croy and
yes, thank you, Croy. Thank you, Ali. I hope you had some fun, and we will see you very soon, I'm sure.
Yes. Take care, everyone.
Cheers. Good night.
Bye.